around that deadly bridge collapse in Italy. The government there is blaming the private owners of the Morandi bridge for the disaster and demanding resignations. But the operator says it carried out regular and sophisticated checks on the structure, which had proved reassuring results. Well, let's go live to Veneto in Italy, where we can talk to Dr. Dominic Standish. He's a lecturer at the University of Iowa who specialises in the sociology of risk. What's your instinct about what could have caused this?
Well, I think firstly there needs to be an investigation into the recent work that's been going on the bridge. There's been work to be done to replace the slab under the road. And I think we shouldn't be rushing to blame people. Instead, we should be looking at the immediate causes.
But in terms of those immediate causes, and you know about bridges of this kind and of this structure, what could the potential causes have been? I mean, obviously the weather was bad. We saw thunder and lightning in the footage, but I mean that couldn't have caused something like this, surely.
I agree with you. I mean, there was terrible weather. There were also reports of lightning strikes on the bridge. However, a bridge like this should be able to withstand such bad weather. So I think the causes at the moment point much more towards structural weaknesses, and those need to be investigated instead of the current government. The Transport and Infrastructure Secretary, Toninelli, rushing to call for the heads of the people who work for Autostrade per Italia to step down, and even Salvini, the Deputy Prime Minister, blaming the lack of EU funds for infrastructure projects. I think we need to look much more at the way these constructions were created, particularly in the 1960s and 1970s, with a lack of state control over such development, and then a lack of subsequent maintenance in the next period.
I mean, would you be concerned travelling around Italy at the moment by other bridges? As you say, there were many other big structures built in that time, weren't there?
Yeah, and in fact, there's been a decade of bridge collapses, obviously not on this scale. This is a terrible human tragedy with 39 dead and 12 very seriously still injured. But the fact is that I'm afraid to say it's not entirely surprising. In 2012, the president of the Employers Association in Genoa actually predicted that the Morandi bridge would collapse. And the Genoa councillor, Paolo Butti, of the Five Star Movement, said that Autostrade has said that this bridge would last for 100 years. Unfortunately, that's not been the case, and there has to be really serious questions asked about a lot of infrastructure in Italy.
And not only in Italy, let's just show you this image if we can. I don't know if you're able to see it where you are, but it's a bridge which is incredibly similar to the bridge that collapsed, but this one is in Venezuela. Very, very similar structure. We don't know whether that was the same concrete and steel mix, although it sort of does look to be. I mean, presumably bridges like this, should they be closed? Should they be stopped immediately so the checks could be carried out?
I think certainly there need to be reviews, and I mean there were cracks on this bridge, and a lot of local people were talking about the problems with it. I've driven over the Morandi Bridge many times. Only 2 years ago there was a major refurbishment. I can't speak to all bridges in many parts of the world, including South America, but certainly I think there needs to be a serious reassessment of a lot of infrastructure in Italy.
Indeed. Dr. Dominic Standish, good to talk to you. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.